Phil's back surgery put in.
Oh my gosh.
I call the Tuscarawas Valley Local Board of Education meeting March 8, 2021 in the Trojan Center with Zoom to order. Please call the roll.
Mr. Goody? Present. Mrs. Green?
Present.
Mr. Johnson?
Present.
Mr. Overton? Present. Mrs. Bridget?
Present. At this time, we'd like to make sure everyone has access to the agenda today. If you don't have one and would like one, there's one at the table. If not, you can also get it offline. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shall we pray? Well, Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this beautiful day out, Lord. Spring is coming, and we're looking forward to that. And thank you so much tonight for the ability. Just ask for your wisdom and discernment and understanding and knowledge as we make decisions for the TV school. Also, Lord, tonight we thank you for all these that are here, and especially those that we get to honor tonight. We just ask special blessings upon them. So now, Lord, just come and be with us tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Mr. Murphy, are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Yes, there's one. If you look at the consent agenda, item 4A, number 5, which is the resolution that says, in addition to the normal daily rate in lieu of traditional overnight, that one. We are removing that item from the agenda tonight. Mrs. Whitting, our TVTA president, is requesting time to meet with teachers and the TVTA executive committee regarding that. So we just need to remove that item this evening. Other than that, everything's good to go.
Thank you for the changes. We'll now move on to number 2, public participation. Are there any requests for public participation? Having no requests for public participation, we'll move on with our agenda, starting with item number 3, the superintendent's report.
Great, thank you, Mrs. Barrier. It's my honor, on behalf of our Board of Education, we're going to honor tonight Mrs. Sally Green. Sally is the recipient of the 2021 Ohio School Boards Association Training Award and the 2021 Ohio School Boards Association Service Award. And from what I'm understanding, both of these awards fall under the STAR Awards program by OSBA, STAR standing for Service, Training, Aptitude, and Recognition. And from what we've been told, there are more than 3,400 board members across the state of Ohio. 12 Board of Education members in Ohio will receive this honor in 2021. Mrs. Sally Green is one of those 12. And I think almost all of us, if not all of us, were involved with the Northeast Region Spring Conference last Wednesday evening, and Sally was recognized there as well, publicly. So on behalf of our board, our entire community, our staff, Sally, congratulations for both of those awards.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And I don't know, Mrs. Green, if there's anything you want to share about that, or do you have a speech prepared?
No speech, but I will say, like always, the ability to do service and training comes by the support of the board and the superintendent and treasurer and just the school district that helps allow us to do that. And I always value going out and serving our children locally, regionally, and statewide. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Sally. And we also want to honor our March 2021 Students of the Month. So, Mr. Phillips, we'll turn it over to you.
Sure. I will start with, we have all 3 here, so I'll start with Logan. If you'd like to come up. So Logan is our athlete of the month. He just got done playing basketball, and they had a great run through the season this year. He's a junior, the son of Dan and Lori Stotzer of Zorville. He plays basketball and baseball, and his hobbies, he enjoys playing sports, playing the Xbox, and hanging out with his friends and family. And at this time, he's undecided what his plans are for graduation. So, do you have your speech prepared? Sorry, I can't shake your hand. Congratulations. Thank you. Next, we'll Lexi. Lexi is our student of the month. She is a senior nominated for and voted on by the teachers for her kindness, which is definitely true. Always smiles, always says hi. Super nice. She's the daughter of Lori and Chris Engstrom of Bolivar. She runs cross country and track and is a member of the varsity club and National Honor Society. She enjoys running and spending time with her family and friends. And at this point, she is undecided what college she would like to attend, but plans to enter the field of speech pathology or physical therapy and hopes to run track. So, congratulations. And Ellie Dorsey is our Vine Artist of the Month. Ellie is also a senior. She's the daughter of Daniel and Carrie Dixon. She is currently participating in speech and debate. Most recently, this past weekend, she finished third in the state competition. She's also in NHS and is a member of the drama club. She enjoys spending time with her dog, is it Isla?
Iowa.
Isla, that can't be spelled right. And driving her younger sister around, which is pretty impressive that you enjoy driving your sister. I thought that was nice. She plans to attend University of Akron and study to become a nurse. So, congratulations.
Mr. Phillips, thank you so much. Ellie, Logan, Lexi, congratulations to each of you. I know that this is one of our favorite things that we get to do every single month is to recognize phenomenal young people across our school district, specifically here at the high school. And of course, we honor our middle level students, but we feature our high school students here. And it's great. Fine Artist of the Month, Athlete of the Month, and then Student of the Month that's really focusing on the character traits that our school district looks for. So congratulations to each of you, and to our parents and families, thank you, because this award is also a reflection on you and our coaches and our advisors. Some of you are in the room, so our hat is off to all of you. Congratulations. And that concludes my report, Mrs. Burrier.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Now moving on to item 4A, 1 through 4. Is there a motion to approve,
So moved.
as well as 6 through 14?
There you go.
Okay.
Apologies.
Doubly moved.
I make a second motion.
Any discussion?
Sure. If you take a look at item 9, a lot of these things are self-explanatory and typical things that you would see on a monthly agenda. Item 9, you may remember that 1 month ago we held the official public hearing for the draft calendar for school year 2021-2022. So what you have in front of you is what we're asking for the board to approve as the final calendar for 2021-2022. I'm sorry, that's item 10. Let me back up to item 9. Item 9 is just an adjustment, and you can kind of reference the 2021-22 calendar, if you will. If you look at May, on 2022, it says Calamity Makeup Day on May 13th. The draft calendar had that on May 20th. We shifted that back to May 13th, but again, that's the 21-22 calendar. And we'd also like the board to I'd like to recommend to the board that we make an adjustment for this school year, very similar, to shift that Calamity Makeup Day number 1, a no school day, from Friday, May 21st, which is our graduation day, to Friday, May 14th. So just move that up by 1 week. The main purpose of that is in working with Mr. Phillips and the team that helps with graduation and our principals that are trying to plan, senior walkthrough and other events that we feature our seniors, but especially with our younger students. We needed to be in session. So, and it just will work out better that way. So those are items 9 and 10. Item 12, there's 20 policies there. A lot of those, I apologize for that, but a lot of those are mostly due to legislative changes as well as changes in accordance with the United States Department of Education. Many of it is redundant, but when you think about our board policy, you have board policy for classified staff, then certified staff, and administrative staff. Well, that's why you see that redundancy and that theme through there. So this is first reading. If you've got any questions regarding that, feel free to reach out. I appreciate Katie and Sally being a part of that committee and helping us work through all of those things. And I think that's all I wanted to highlight, unless there are other questions of the board.
Mark, I only have one question that goes to the calendar, just to clarify some
Sure.
of the information. The final grading period for the fourth quarter, will that be the last day of student day?
It would be the student day. So if you're looking, are you talking about next school year's calendar?
Yes,
Okay.
the calendar that we're approving.
So May 26th is the last student day.
That would also be the ending of the grading period, or does the grading period end before that?
That is the end of the grading period.
Okay,
Thursday, May 26th,
okay,
2022.
all right,
Yep.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Gooden?
Yes.
Mrs. Green?
Yes,
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Overton?
Yes.
Mrs. Berger?
Yes. The votes have been cast unanimously approving items A1 through 4 and 6 through 14. Moving on to item number 5. Is there a motion to approve a resolution urging the Ohio General Assembly to waive all state mandated standardized testing requirements for the 2020-2021 school year? Request a waiver from state mandated state testing or testing from the United States Department of Education, and declare the Tuscarawas Valley Local School Board support for House Bill 67 and 40, which would fulfill both requests and declare an emergency. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, the reason that I've asked the board to consider this resolution, and you may have noticed it in our March staff news flash, and I'm just going to read this because this really does represent the stance that we have here in our district. The requirement for federal and state testing was waived, obviously, in 2020, a year ago, because of the pandemic. The federal government has stated it is not willing to cancel required assessments or permit states to request a testing waiver for this spring, 2021. Legislators, both nationally and locally, are promising flexibility, but likely that flexibility will come in the form of a lengthened test window. For instance, well, we'll just stretch the testing window out to the very end of May, or for those districts that need more time, we'll even stretch testing into the summer if need be. Tuscarawas Valley has never shied away from state testing, especially when those results can be used to shape district priorities, target deficiencies, and establish goals. We, and I, are completely opposed, however, to testing that's really intended to reveal learning gaps due to the pandemic simply for the benefit of the system. And I use the word system in broad system. It's not what is best for students or educators. Unnecessary standardized testing consumes days of instruction, which adds to the learning loss which legislators are so concerned about, which I find ironic. Until directed otherwise, and you all know this, and until directed otherwise, we will continue to give and do our very, very best, and we will follow our current testing schedule that's been mapped out by Dr. Vransky and our building principals. What I want to emphasize, though, is we're not going to shy away from any kind of state testing, but it is not our primary focus day in and day out. Our primary focus is providing the best learning opportunities for our students on a day-to-day basis and driving both student achievement and growth forward using internal data measures that we have on hand and that we know that work, like MAP, or what's known as the measurement for academic progress, and other diagnostic things that Dr. Vransky and our principals and our Office of Student Services use to measure our students' achievement and growth. That's much more meaningful, and we have fast results in front of us. We have real-time stuff that we can use to make goals, rather than just a one date. So we have mixed feelings about it, but I wanted to, we don't shy away from testing, but requiring states, I believe, requiring states to spend a whole bunch of time, and I can only imagine the amount of money behind it to take students away from teaching and learning, for us to get results, who knows when, that then there's no accountability, there's no penalty, it becomes, in Mark Murphy's world, it becomes pretty meaningless. Now, we'll do our best to make the most of it, but that's the whole premise of this resolution. I know there's legislators working on things, the department's working on things, but you know what? The timeline is ticking, and Derek is constantly getting information about assessments and the testing windows, and we're scheduled. We're ready to go, right, Dr. Vransky? We're ready to go, but I'm asking for the board's backing on that resolution.
Well, Mr. Murphy, I also think internally, or the testing that you have done with our kids through this COVID thing does not show what you hear on the media as far as everybody falling behind. I think we've done fairly well, have we not?
Correct.
Correct, and that's what Dr. Vransky and our principals have been
Meeting with our teachers in small groups and looking at that data. And I think a previous report, maybe about a month ago,
Yeah.
because Mrs. Green had asked, well, Mark, because there's all of this discussion about the learning loss and the learning gap because of COVID. And there may be some schools, and specifically some children, maybe many children, that are encountering a learning gap because they've not been in session.
Right.
There are still some school districts that have not met children in person for a year. That is not our story,
Amen.
thank goodness.
Yes.
And we've been in session. We had that little time period in November, December, and first part of January where we had to go back into remote. But you know what? I credit OSS, I credit our Office of Student Services and Derek and our principals and our teachers, because our plan has been, no plan is perfect, but our plan is good.
Yeah.
And it's strong. And our teachers have continued to work very hard. And then, like I said last month, I really credit our students for their fortitude. So all that to say is our learning loss, what we're looking at as far as our MAP data, it shows that our conditional student growth index, right? I think our growth index is showing about slightly less than 1 year's growth. Slightly less than 1 year's growth.
But looking at
Compared to all,
that, that's
compared to
phenomenal.
all students
Yeah.
across the nation
Oh.
in those content areas and grade bands. So slightly less than 1 year. But great question. So thank you.
If there's no more discussion, please call the roll.
Mrs. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Overton? Yes. Mr. Gooden?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Berger?
Yes. Item number 6, is there a motion to approve a resolution recommending amendment to the Ohio School Boards Association 2021 legislative platform?
I make the motion.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to make some more words, Madam President. I apologize for it going on at the last minute, but I just want to explain what this is, because we've never done this in our school board. But the Ohio School Board Association has 4 legislators that go to all of our legislation in the state of Ohio and talk to them when bills come up. And they testify what the Ohio School Board's marching orders are, so to speak, as far as education and policies and bills. And one of the things that has never been addressed is voucher system in our delegate assembly. And so this is to rectify that gap that's in there so that we can give them some meat, so to speak, that says we as Ohio School Board Association do not believe in vouchers taking away from the school districts. And if there is, there should be a cap. Currently, $150 million is taken out of public education in the state of Ohio for voucher system. We want to eliminate that. We want them to have their pot, so to speak, and us to have our pot, so that it doesn't hurt the public school system. Now, what this is, I want to make sure it's clear, is this just goes to the Ohio School Board Association. The legislative platform will vote on it, whether they agree with it or not. And then it goes to the delegate assembly, where one person from every school board votes on it. And if they pass it, then that just gives the marching orders to the Ohio School Board Association of what we want them to talk about to legislators when this comes up in bills. So that's what this purpose is for. Does anyone have any questions?
Well, this is not saying that if there is vouchers, which I've already said in the past, there are some school systems where I would not want my kids to be in them. And there's one that happens to be not in session right now. I was there today. But at the same time, we should not take that money away from the public school system. So that's what you're basically saying.
Right.
And I'm in total agreement and support of that whatsoever. Yeah.
Oh, one more thing. If we pass it, I need you all to sign that resolution to make it legal. Thanks.
Okay.
And we can send that, Mrs. Green, Mr. Phillips and I can share that with whoever you would want it,
Yes.
wherever you'd want it to go to. So oftentimes, even if we don't sign that particular agreement, then we send our minutes as evidence. Yep.
Mr. Phillips, please call the roll.
Mrs. Green,
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Gooden,
Yes.
Mr. Overton,
Yes.
Mrs. Berger.
Yes. Votes have been cast unanimously approving the resolution recommending amendment to the Ohio School Boards Association 2021 legislative platform. Item number 7, we'll move on to our leadership reports. Is there anything you would like to highlight from your submitted report to make corrections or additions? Starting with you, Dr. Bransky. Okay. Mr. Phillips?
Nope.
Mrs. Knowles?
I just have one quick correction. The Fine Arts Student of the Month for the middle school is going to be Clara Brown. Victoria Wilson was a couple months ago, and our fine arts teachers missed that when they did it, and we don't repeat. So the student didn't know about it yet. So it's been changed to Clara Brown, and those kids will find out tomorrow.
Which grade again?
Oh, fine artist.
Oh, fine artist. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Clara Brown. CLARABROWN.
Mrs. Clements?
I just wanted to celebrate our students. I'm not sure if you were following all of the events that we had this past week for the Rainbow Connection. In our elementary, our students raised over $2,000 to help support that community organization, and I was extremely proud of them. So as kind of a reward, part of the process of collecting the money, they were purchasing tickets to be entered into a raffle to have lunch with their favorite staff member. So we have chosen 25 students, and they will be having lunch with their favorite staff member here in the next week. But because we had such an overwhelming response, we are picking more students every day this week to have donuts with the principal on Friday. We felt like 25 students was not enough to kind of show our gratitude to them. So we're really impressed with the community support that our elementary students always have, not just for Rainbow Connection, but throughout the year. So we do appreciate our parents and our students providing that support to them. And I believe, it was a very successful telethon for them, even though they shortened it and did everything virtually, highly successful. So we were a big part of that, so thank you.
Grand total from Tuscarawas Valley Local Schools was $2,614.
Yep.
So Yeah, many
And our
thanks.
staff members were a big part of that
Yes.
as well. So they, participated on Fridays. In order to wear jeans, they gave a donation. So
Yeah.
very proud of the entire district.
Yeah.
And I know I made the comment on the website, but I want to publicly share with you guys. I think it's great that our school district's teaching kids about giving and about caring for others, and that we do take part in these kind of opportunities. So thank you as administrative team for, that's how we get some of these programs. And I know Tusky Valley utilizes the Rainbow Connection, so.
They do. They've been very generous to us. Everything that
Mhm.
we've asked for as far as
Yeah.
needs for our special needs students, either equipment or services they've been able to provide for us. So I really appreciate their support. So we try to give back every year.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's great. Okay, moving on to item 8. The next regular Board of Education meeting will be held April 12th, 2021, 7 p.m. in the Tusky Valley High School Trojan Center, as well as the Board of Education will hold a special meeting for executive session on Monday, April 12th, 2021, beginning at 5:30 p.m. in the superintendent's office for the purpose of preparation for negotiations.
Mrs. Burrier, could I add a couple more announcements?
Yes.
And sorry, I should have included these under item 8. But just a reminder for all of our staff members and our student body, next Wednesday, March 17th, is a 2-hour early release day. That's when our staff will be receiving, those who are requesting it, they will receive dose 2 of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. So Wednesday the 17th, 2-hour early release, followed by Thursday, March 18th, a remote learning day. So we know well in advance, everyone's prepared for that. And then the last announcement, and you will all receive more information about this, it's forthcoming, but it's been decided we've got a groundbreaking ceremony being planned for Wednesday, May 26th at 6:30 p.m. at the site of the new 7 through 12. The groundbreaking is not only to celebrate the new 7 through 12, but for the future of the district, the complete campus project. So May 26th, 6:30. More information to come.
And Madam President, if I could add one more comment too. Can we just make sure that the minutes reflect that Clara Brown under,
Yes. Yep,
make that correction on the agenda?
will do.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
With no further business on our agenda, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Overton? Yes. Mr. Gooding?
Yes.
Mrs. Green?
Yes.
Mrs. Burrier?
Yes.